The year was 1962, a time when the world was on edge, teetering on the brink of an uncertain future. The world held its breath, caught in the icy grip of the Cold War. Nations were locked in a silent yet palpable struggle for supremacy. Yet, far from the tense standoff of superpowers, a different kind of threat was brewing. One that was not defined by borders or ideologies but by the very forces of nature and human ingenuity. High above the tranquil waters of the Pacific Ocean, a secret operation unfolded, shrouded in mystery and controversy. This was not a battlefield of soldiers, but of scientists and military strategists. This was Operation Fishbowl, a series of high-altitude nuclear tests conducted by the United States. These tests were part of a larger program known as Operation Dominic, aimed at understanding the effects of nuclear explosions in the upper atmosphere. What transpired in those skies continues to spark debate, a stark reminder of humanity's ambition and its potential for unintended consequences. The explosions, visible from hundreds of miles away, lit up the night sky with an eerie glow. The very name, Fishbowl, evokes a sense of observation, of peering into a contained environment. It suggests a controlled experiment, yet the reality was far from controlled. But the reality was far more chaotic. The tests were fraught with technical challenges and unexpected results, pushing the boundaries of what was known and understood about nuclear physics. These tests were not mere scientific curiosities, they were bold, even reckless attempts to understand and control the awesome power of the atom, unleashed in the delicate balance of Earth's atmosphere. The stakes were incredibly high, with potential consequences that could affect the entire planet. The story of Operation Fishbowl is one of dazzling lights and devastating power, of scientific hubris and lingering uncertainty. It is a narrative that captures the duality of human progress, the drive to explore and the danger of overreaching. It is a tale that forces us to confront the ethical dilemmas of our technological prowess, a cautionary echo that resonates even today as we venture further into the cosmic ocean. The lessons of Operation Fishbowl remind us that with great power comes great responsibility, and that the quest for knowledge must always be tempered with wisdom and foresight. The aftermath of these tests left a lasting impact on both the environment and the collective consciousness of humanity. The radioactive fallout, though largely dispersed, served as a grim reminder of the potential for widespread devastation. Scientists and military personnel who participated in Operation Fishbowl were forever changed by the experience. They had glimpsed the raw power of the atom, and with it, the profound responsibility that comes with wielding such force. Today, as we continue to grapple with the implications of nuclear technology, the story of Operation Fishbowl remains a poignant chapter in our history. It serves as a reminder of the thin line between innovation and destruction, and the need for careful consideration in our pursuit of progress. As we look out over the serene waters of the Pacific, we are reminded of the whispers that once echoed above, carrying with them the weight of human ambition and the hope for a better, safer world. The driving force behind Operation Fishbowl was the chilling reality of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union, locked in an ideological struggle, engaged in a perilous arms race. Nuclear weapons, with their terrifying destructive potential, became the ultimate symbol of power. But the arena of this competition was not limited to Earth. Both superpowers recognized the strategic importance of space. Satellites, still in their infancy, promised unprecedented communication and surveillance capabilities. Control of this new frontier became paramount.
Operation Fishbowl was, in part, a response to Soviet advancements in anti-satellite technology. The US military sought to understand how nuclear detonations at high altitudes would impact these crucial assets. They wanted to know if a nuclear weapon could neutralize enemy satellites, blinding their communications and crippling their ability to wage war. This fear, however, was a double-edged sword. While seeking to counter the Soviet threat, the US was also venturing into uncharted territory. The potential consequences of detonating nuclear devices in the upper atmosphere were poorly understood. The line between scientific exploration and reckless endangerment was perilously thin.
Operation Fishbowl, though encompassing several tests, played out over a relatively short period. This series of high-altitude nuclear tests was part of the larger Operation Dominic, conducted by the United States in 1962. The aim was to understand the effects of nuclear explosions in the upper atmosphere and near space, a realm largely unexplored at the time. The first test, codenamed Bluegill, was slated for June of 1962. This test was crucial as it was intended to provide initial data on the behavior of nuclear detonations at high altitudes. However, it faced a series of frustrating delays due to technical difficulties. The complexity of launching a missile to the edge of space and ensuring it detonated at the correct altitude was a monumental challenge. This set the stage for a pattern of setbacks and triumphs that would characterize the entire operation. Each test brought its own set of challenges, from technical malfunctions to unexpected atmospheric conditions. After multiple postponements, Bluegill finally launched. The anticipation was palpable among the scientists and military personnel who had invested so much effort into this endeavor. The results, however, were disappointing. The test did not go as planned, and the data collected was far from what was hoped for. The missile carrying the nuclear device malfunctioned, forcing its destruction before it could reach its target altitude. This was a significant setback, highlighting the unpredictable nature of such high-stakes experiments. This initial failure underscored the immense challenges of conducting such complex experiments at the edge of space. The team had to reconsider their approach and make necessary adjustments to their equipment and procedures.
Undeterred, the scientists and military personnel pressed on. They were driven by the need to understand the potential military and scientific implications of high-altitude nuclear detonations. The next test, Starfish Prime, was perhaps the most ambitious. This test aimed to detonate a nuclear device at an altitude of 400 kilometers, far higher than any previous test, and certainly the most consequential of the entire operation. The explosion was visible from Hawaii, over 1,400 kilometers away, and caused significant disruptions to electronic equipment. This high-altitude detonation, scheduled for July, would forever etch its mark on the history of nuclear testing. The electromagnetic pulse, EMP, generated by the explosion knocked out streetlights and disrupted communications over a wide area, and its impact on the near-Earth environment. The test provided valuable data on the effects of nuclear explosions in space, but also raised concerns about the potential for widespread damage to satellites and other space-based infrastructure. But Starfish Prime was not the end. The success and the data gathered from this test spurred further high-altitude tests. Further tests, like Kingfish, followed. Each subsequent test aimed to build on the knowledge gained from previous detonations, refining techniques and understanding the broader implications, each contributing to the growing body of data. The information collected was invaluable for both military strategy and scientific research, providing insights into the behavior of nuclear explosions in the upper atmosphere, but also raising further questions about the long-term effects of these high-altitude detonations. The potential for lasting environmental damage and the impact on space exploration were significant concerns. The legacy of Operation Fishbowl was only beginning to take shape. The tests had far-reaching implications, influencing both military policies and scientific understanding of nuclear explosions in space. The data gathered would inform future tests and strategies, but the ethical and environmental questions raised by these tests would continue to be debated for years to come.
July 9, 1962, dawned like any other day for the inhabitants of the Pacific region. The sun rose, casting its golden hue over the tranquil waters, and life went on as usual. Little did they know history was about to be made high above their heads. But high above them, in the darkness of space, a man-made star was about to be born. This was no ordinary celestial event. It was a meticulously planned and executed operation that would leave an indelible mark on the annals of history. Starfish Prime, the most powerful of the fishbowl tests, was ready for detonation. Scientists and military personnel had worked tirelessly, preparing for this momentous occasion. The anticipation was palpable, as they knew the magnitude of what was about to unfold. At 9:09 GMT, a Thor rocket carrying a 1.4 megaton W-49 thermonuclear warhead roared into the sky from Johnston Island. The rocket's engines ignited with a thunderous roar, propelling it upwards with immense force. It climbed higher and higher, a fiery arrow aimed at the heavens. The rocket's ascent was a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of knowledge and power. The target altitude, 250 miles above the Earth's surface. This was a carefully calculated height, chosen to maximize the impact and visibility of the detonation. The world held its breath. People from different corners of the globe, whether aware of the test or not, were about to witness something unprecedented.
Then, at 1.4 seconds past 9 o'clock and 9 seconds, the night sky erupted in a blinding flash of light. It was as if a second sun had momentarily appeared, illuminating the darkness with an intensity that was both mesmerizing and terrifying. Starfish Prime had detonated, unleashing its fury in the vacuum of space. The explosion was a testament to the raw power of nuclear energy, harnessed and unleashed by human hands. The spectacle was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Onlookers were left in a state of shock and awe, grappling with the sheer scale of the event they had just witnessed. The explosion was visible for hundreds of miles, a brilliant artificial aurora borealis that shimmered with otherworldly colors. The sky was painted with hues of green, blue, and red, creating a surreal and hauntingly beautiful display. But the beauty masked a far more troubling reality. Beneath the mesmerizing colors and lights lay the stark truth of the destructive power that had been unleashed. Starfish Prime was not a contained event. Its effects were not limited to the immediate vicinity of the blast. The detonation had far-reaching implications that extended well beyond the initial explosion. Its effects were felt far beyond the immediate blast zone, rippling outwards through the Earth's magnetic field and into the very fabric of space itself. The electromagnetic pulse generated by the explosion disrupted communications and electrical systems over a vast area. The consequences of this detonation would prove to be far-reaching and longer-lasting than anyone had anticipated. The event served as a stark reminder of the immense power and potential dangers of nuclear technology, prompting further reflection and debate on its use and control.